Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So right here we have a JMA Attachments 36-inch skeleton bucket. This video is actually sponsored by JMA Attachments. I've been looking at their attachments for a while now. They are advertising on social media quite a bit. They got TikTok, they got Instagram, they got Facebook. They do have some YouTube videos of their own. But as far as I can tell, they don't have a YouTuber that actually uses their products in their daily work. So I reached out to them, contacted them, talked about one of these buckets, and they sent me one. So we're going to use it. We're going to put it through its paces. We're going to see what it can do. Their website is really cool because it's very transparent. If you have a machine and you're looking for an attachment for it, it's just as simple as going to their website, finding the brand of your machine, like Hyundai, and then finding 17Z9A, and it will bring up every product that they have for that machine that's available. And if you can't find it, you can do their instant chat, and they will help you find it. So they've got sidewall cutters, they've got bucket teeth, they've got bucket pins, they've got stuff from rubber tired backhoes all the way to skid loaders and all the way up excavators to the size of like a 470 Deere. So they've got some good sized buckets that are available. It was very easy to get this bucket. I mean, literally, we talked about it on a Friday. They shipped it out Monday, and I had it the next Friday. So this is Sunday of the week that I got it. So it actually come Friday afternoon. So easy to get it. No problem with transportation whatsoever. Had them deliver it here to my dad's shop because that's where Dayton Freight is used to delivering stuff. So we just had them bring it here. Plus Bobcat was here to unload it if need be. But this bucket is 200 pounds. 210 pounds actually. It is AR 400 steel. Fit on rather well, a little bit tight, but that's all right. It'll wear in after a while. But very well constructed after looking at it. And that was another thing. I was curious about their construction on their buckets. They are based out of Florida, but they're not built in Florida. But the welds, beautiful, nice welds, precision welded. Some of it's hand welded, some of it's robot welded after watching some of their videos. So we're going to try it out. We're actually going to go to my buddy Cliftons. We might use it there. If not use it there, we'll take it over to my place and we'll use it to clean up some rocks and sort out some rocks. What we're going to do at Cliftons is we're going to tear a porch off the front of his house that is a all concrete porch, and it has a filled core. And I've got a suspicion it's probably got old field rocks and chunks of concrete that they used for backfill in that porch. So if we need it there, we'll use it there. If not, we'll take it to my place and we'll try it there. So we'll see what happens today. But this will be in videos of using the 17Z9A. My idea was when we do demolition work, we've always got a bunch of crumbs left. This will help clean that up. Being it's 36 inches wide, you won't have to try to balance big pieces on it. You can scoop them up, get them in there. Another thing it'll work great for is like if we have to excavate some heavy clay or something like that. This will allow for less surface area for that clay to stick in the bucket, so it'll stay cleaner while you dig. It's kind of the idea like a slat bottom moldboard plow. They made them slat bottom so there's less for the clay to stick to in the heavier soils. So yeah, it's going to be a great thing, a great tool in the arsenal to have. And go check out JMA Attachments. They have concrete pulverizing jaws, they have thumbs, they have grapple buckets, they have all kinds of stuff, frost rippers. And what really turned me on about them was that they have a lot of attachments for this size of excavator. There's not very many places that are making a whole lot of attachments for these, but they have quite a few of them. They also have auxiliary lines kits for them. So, and they seem like they're going to be a company that keeps growing. So definitely check them out, and we'll see how it works. So far, I like what I see. Nice and heavy built. Nice gussets here where they count. Got them here in the corners. Take that flex out of that bucket. So let's go try it out and see what we think of it. So the first thing we're going to remove on this front porch is the porch cap itself. It's just some flat slab. Brought the forks for that. Bobcat should pick them up just fine. Try to get the steps out around it with the Bobcat. I went ahead and peeled it out with the Bobcat, just put the forks on. It was about 12 inches wide. Shovel and knock the rest of that down because it is a block foundation and I don't want to get too close to it. Rather be safe than sorry. All getting redone, so that corner piece got tore off when I drug the slab out, which is no big deal. It was attached to it a little bit. Looky here. Never know what you're gonna find. Budweiser beer can. I have to give that to Clifton. He'll like that. Alright, that looks pretty good. They can get their porch built. We'll scrape that off along there with a shovel. Call it good for now. Well, that's all done. Turned out real nice. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go cut some soybeans. Well, we got done farming today, cutting soybeans. And it left me a little bit of time this evening to make a little more video with the JMA Attachment 36-inch skeleton bucket. So we are here on my property. This is where I've been messing around with a little bit of gravel making and rocks and things like that. I have a couple people that like rocks this size for garden pond projects and things like that. And this is going to help me get those sorted out. Really, the size that'll fall through it are from that size up is what I'm after. So this will work out great. So I'm going to go ahead and set my camera tripod up, and we're going to give it a shot And another thing I'd like to add is I like the length of these teeth. So if you've got topsoil or something like that that's got roots in it, roots, however you want to say it, you can use those teeth to rake them up, get them raked up, bunch them up in a pile, curl the bucket, and then shake them out and get all the dirt out. Now, you probably noticed earlier when I was loading them cement blocks, there was virtually no dirt in the bucket of the Bobcat when I dumped those rocks out, or them blocks out. So that works real good, especially if you're going to be crushing that material and you're taking it back to a crushing yard. You're not going to end up with a bunch of extra material there that you don't need. So with this screening bucket, skeleton bucket, you're leaving that material there. You don't have to haul in material to replace that material because you've left it behind. So that makes this a valuable asset for demolition work or cleaning up old concrete, old demolition debris. This thing is going to be very handy. So highly recommend it so far. It's holding up very well. I pulled really hard on it, trying to get that footing out, and didn't tweak it, didn't crack it, didn't nothing. So I'm extremely impressed with this attachment so far. Highly recommend the skeleton bucket from JMA. So let's get the tripod set up. Let's try it out on these river rocks here. So another point I want to add is if I didn't have this bucket, I would have dipped up a lot of dirt, or I would have had the option of hand picking all them blocks up. But I was a one-man operation this morning, went to do the project. With this, I was able to be that one-man operation. I got it done fast, and I got to go do other things today. So that really upped my productivity today, having this skeleton bucket. So something you got to think about when you're buying attachments is how will this up my productivity and make me more efficient and make it so if I need to be that one-man show, I can be that one-man show and get stuff done still quickly, efficiently, and cost effectively. I've done a lot more digging. I shut the camera off because I wanted to keep digging for a while, and I don't want to bore everybody with me doing the same thing, but it's kind of addicting once you get started doing it. While I was digging, I was thinking about our trip out to Colorado. It'd be last year we went, well, actually a week ago would have been the anniversary of us going out to Colorado. We went out to Silverton, Colorado, and that's in the San Juan Valley between the mountains. And they do a lot of excavating out there, of course, just like we do here. And I couldn't help but notice everywhere we went and they were doing excavating work, they were trucking their mix of rocks and dirt out, and they were bringing back screened clean fill. Well, if you ask me, if they had a 40,000 pound size excavator or larger, and they had one of these skeleton buckets on it, they could literally dig whatever they're digging, reach over, sift out their soil or dirt, whatever you want to call it, and then dump those rocks and actually save some of that soil to save on trucking clean soil back in. Now, I know every application's different. Some applications, they probably needed it really clean, but for backfill purposes around a basement, crawl space, something like that, that material would be just fine. So that would be a good application for that bucket. Guys that do firewood, if you have a firewood processor and you need to stack up the firewood after you're done processing, you could really throw that bucket on backwards and use it to front shovel that pile of firewood up there, and it would sift out if you had any gravel or chunks of bark or anything like that. A viewer actually said I could clean my cow lots up with it, and he's right. You could probably scoop manure with that and clean up around your cow lots with it. There's all kinds of applications you can do with that bucket. That is going to be a very versatile tool for me, and I'm going to get a lot of enjoyment out of it and use it a lot. So thank you, JMA Attachments, for sponsoring this video and getting me into one of these buckets. I really appreciate that, and I look forward to working with you more, because if your other products work just as well as that one, I'll be interested in some other products. Also, I will put links in the description below to get you to this bucket, to get you to JMA Attachments. And there is talk that there will be a dirt grain steel discount. Look in the description below. If you mention my name at checkout, Dirt Grain and Steel, you will get 5% off of a JMA attachment. So like right now, they're running a deal. This bucket's like, I think it's like $852. And you get 15% off of it. So if you got the 15, I think you get the 15% off and my extra 5, since you've seen it on the channel, that'd be 20% off of attachment. So that's a really good deal. And like I said, getting it here was a breeze. The shipping was easy. Within a week, I had it from Doral, Florida to Knox, Indiana. I thought that was, well, less than a week, I guess. So, because I shipped it on Monday afternoon and it was here Friday after, about a week. But still, easy, transparent. Give me tracking numbers. I followed it the whole way here. Great company to work with, and I like that you can get online at any time and you can talk to one of their sales associates through an instant messenger. So, great company to work with so far. Like them. So, be watching for this and more videos. Thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. I'll see you all next one. Have a good evening or have a good morning. All depends on where you're at around the world.